Hey, congratulations on clicking on this course because this is all about your financial well-being. And now more than ever, women in business really need to have financial resilience, and we want financial wealth and health, and that is what I'm here to help you develop. And so wherever you are, I just want to invite you to enjoy, refresh if we're recovering some things you've already got going, and definitely keep on learning because the journey's not over. But before we get started, I want to tell you a little money story on myself about my first business way back in the pre-internet days of 1985 when I was 2.5 years old. Okay, multiply times 10. I started a side hustle, my first side hustle, own business, network marketing company. I bought the business cards of skincare and makeup, samples, color palette, brochures, postcards, order forms, everything the company told me I would need to get a strong start on my new business. I made a commitment to myself to try it for a year. And so I did. I told all my besties about it. I gave away samples. I held free spa nights at my little apartment. I offered products for sale, and sales did come in, not as fast as I expected. I kept on spending money. I spent money on networking and spent money on more products, samples, and more brochures. And 6 months later, I got engaged and I got super busy. My regular job, 9 to 5, was busy. I was spending time with my fiance. I wasn't working my business as much, but I did keep on buying the products I wanted and friends and family discounts, refilled some friends' orders, and I stopped going to the meetings they had, sales upline, stopped taking calls. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to book any more spa nights. This isn't working, giving samples away. And not surprisingly, at the end of a year, I learned after I tracked all my expenses and costs of doing business that I lost money my first year of being in business. And I decided, okay, I'm not going to lose any more money before the wedding. And I closed the books and shut that business down. Business failure, failure. I'm telling you this because I want you to know I'm coming from a place of not getting it right all the time, the first time, or even being perfect now. The truth is I'm in this with you. I've made plenty of business mistakes and financial mistakes. And unfortunately, the truth is we're living in a world right now where most women, if they ever learn finance and business, learn through the school of hard knocks. And in fact, I have fallen into most of the traps I'm hoping to help you steer around in your journey of financial well-being. And I don't know if anyone watching this can relate, but the great news about failures is that they're a huge learning opportunity. Richard Bach had once wrote, "We teach best what we most need to learn." So I'm still on my wealth journey. I keep on learning. And, I was really happy and grateful to Jill when she asked me to record this course for you. I was grateful that I've had the experiences I've gone through so that I can share some of these and maybe help you avoid some pitfalls. My name is Christine Rose. I'm the co-author of the Amazon #1 international bestseller, Cracking the Rich Code, Volume 4. And I'm also author of the Amazon #1 new release, Life Beyond #MeToo, Creating a Safer World for Our Mothers, Daughters, Sisters, and Friends. I am a speaker. I'm an ICF credentialed coach, business and executive coach, member of the Forbes Coaches Council, certified core values coach. Core values is a tailored protocols instrument I use to help people hire and retain A players in their companies and also avoid some of the errors they can make in their own businesses. And also I'm a certified prosperity building coach and psychological safety coach. And as the owner of my own business, a boutique coaching company called Christine Rose Coaching and Consulting based in the greater Seattle area, I work with small to medium-sized businesses, mostly with the owners, to help them to strengthen their leadership skills, to grow innovative and effective teams, and to grow profitable and sustainable companies. And here's the cool thing. unlike the makeup business, I'm actually getting paid well and making a profit doing work I love to do. And so should you. That doesn't mean we can't generously give our time away to what's important to us. Just not call it business. Let's call that what it is, volunteering. I'm going to ask you to get real about your business and where it is financially at this point in time. Again, this is a point in time picture, a snapshot of where you are financially. I'm going to ask some questions that you need to know the answers to. If you're not sure, this is your invitation to look at your business and your own personal finances in a new way and to learn. And go ahead and do the work and find the answers. Find out the answers, okay? If you need to, get help from a bookkeeper or CPA. And if you would like to have the financial formulas in a free handy one page that I'm sharing, these and others actually, just drop me an email, cr@christinerose.coach, and I'll email it to you. And you know what? This is one of the rules here in this course is no shame, because we are on our journeys. So wherever we are, no shame, okay? Feel free to pause the video whenever you need to so you can really answer the questions, and let's get started. So first of all, what are your company's annual sales? And how many transactions make up that number? What's the average sale per transaction? Take the number of sales divided by number of transactions and get the average sale per transaction. And what is the average sale per client? So you're tracking how many clients you have and what they spend and dividing that average by clients. Also, you want to know what is your client retention rate. To calculate your customer retention rate, you take, I'm going to give you a formula, EC minus NC over SC and times 100. So EC is the number of customers at the end of a period of time. NC is the number of new customers during that period. And SC is the number of customers at the start of the period. EC minus NC, and then divided by SC. And then take that number and multiply it times 100. And that's going to give you your customer retention rate, which is a clear measure of your customer's loyalty and also churn for your business. The next thing is ask yourself, what's the lifetime value of a customer? Okay, the lifetime value of a customer, or CLV, client lifetime value, represents the total amount of money one of your customers is expected to spend in your business or on your products in their lifetime. Next question, what are your average sales per employee? To get that number, take your 12-month sales revenue and divide it by your FTEs. I would recommend that you check this number quarterly. Also, what's an optimal average sales per employee for your company? I would recommend you check with the local Small Business Development Center or SBDC office and get a number that's optimal that you can strive for, okay? Average sales per employee. And then on the other side, what are your company's current liabilities? Current liabilities are a company's short-term financial obligations that are due within a year or within a normal operating cycle, also known as your cash conversion cycle. This is the time that it takes your company to buy inventory and convert it into cash from sales. An example of a current liability is money that you owe to suppliers in the form of accounts payable. So these are a start for knowing where your company is now. And some of these, some of you may be at a point where you can name these things up at the top of a drop of a pin. You've got them all in your mind and you know it. And congratulations. And some of these, this is totally brand new to you. You've never heard these things before. But you want to know these numbers. And there also are many more numbers that you can know on my free worksheet that will help you to effectively manage and run your business. For example, your EBIT, or earnings before interest and taxes. But for now, in this course, we're going to start with these. Okay, so the next place to get real is with the personal finances. So your net worth is the total value of your assets, all added up, everything you own, all your checking, savings, investment accounts, all your savings and investment vehicles, including bonds, cryptocurrency, And then also your home, your homes, your timeshares, any cars, boats, motorcycles, any other vehicles you own, and also the realistic sale value of any other possessions you own. You take all the assets, add them up, and come up with a number. You add up your liabilities, the total of everything you owe, including your mortgage, your car loans, personal loans, credit card debt, any other debts. Get a number for your total liabilities, and you calculate your net worth by taking assets minus liabilities, and that number that's left is your net worth. So calculate that net worth and write it down. It's also very important to know exactly what you owe to others and the price you're paying for using their money, the interest that you pay to each creditor. So whether you've paid off credit or have stayed debt-free, and maybe you pay off all your credit at the end of each month without carrying new balances, I want to tell you, congratulations. You have already made great progress on your journey of prosperity. And it is a journey for all of us. So even for those watching who've got outstanding debts, wherever you are right now, take heart. The great news is that wherever you are in your journey, you're not finished yet. Okay, this is a journey. And what we learn here is going to help us. So be encouraged. There are times the journey can be rough. We can even have setbacks. You know, there are times where maybe your net worth goes down in a year. And other times it's smooth and easy. Many right now are struggling after layoffs or losing significant revenue in your businesses. I just want to encourage you, this is not a time to give up. We want to keep on moving, doing the best we can to move in the direction of our goals. And it's a time to develop resilience. When there are setbacks, we develop resilience, but we're not done yet. Okay, so we're going to develop a recovery plan for ourselves. We're going to keep on pressing on, and always we keep in sight our vision and our destination. So the next thing I'm going to ask you to do is clarify your vision. Clearly envision where you want to be and what would put you in a place of financial well-being. So for your business, look back at the numbers you came up with in our assessment of current financial well-being. Look at each of those numbers and create a goal or a vision of where you'd like your business to be. Sales, client retention rate, CLV, average sales per full-time employee, current liabilities. What are your goals 10 years from now, 5 years from now, 3 years from now, and 1 year from now for the numbers that we've looked at? Make specific, measurable, reality-based goals with a deadline, right? Time assigned to them, SMART goals. And aim high, okay? So have goals for your business. It's going to change your life to make sure you've got these goals for your business. And now for your personal well-being. What is your vision for your personal financial well-being? What's your goal for your personal net worth? Credit balances, cost of credit. Write your goals for 10 years, 5 years, 3 years, and 1 year from now, okay? Just write those down. Take some time, pause the video if you need to. Take some time and write down your goals. Okay, once you've got your clear goals, then you're gonna that'll put you in a position to make plans to attain them. If you have a business partner, I encourage you to do goal setting and planning together. If you're a solopreneur, share your goals with someone that you trust. I do want to tell you, many smart business owners work with the coach to create strategies and make plans to attain their goals. So congratulations on the work you've done in part 1. Be sure to join us in part 2 to amp up your wealth mindset and for more practical tips for your financial well-being. Hi, welcome back. Thanks for joining me for this section where we're going to learn how to develop a mindset to support your financial well-being, and we'll get some tips for effectively building and holding containers, budgeting, and savings for yourself and for your business. There's a lot of talk about mindset out there. So what is that? A mindset is your mental attitude or a fixed set of beliefs. And by the way, I do want to encourage you to check out Vered Kogan's podcast, the Mindset Game podcast, for some really great conversations about mindset. It is a great resource. And also a great resource for shifting mindset is the book Says Who by Ora Nadrich. So what is your wealth mindset? What is your money mindset? What conscious and unconscious beliefs do you hold about money, finances, business, and wealth? Here's an exercise. I'm going to ask you to get out 2 sheets of paper. Put a plus at the top of one sheet and a minus at the top of the other sheet. Take a few minutes to write down everything you believe about money, finances, or wealth, okay? Whether personal or business. Just take a few minutes to write down everything you believe. What beliefs come up for you? Many of these beliefs come from our childhood, so we can almost hear our parents' voices in our heads, right? Money doesn't grow on trees. I don't know, whatever. Maybe some of these beliefs have negative or limiting qualities. If they do, put them on the minus page. If you have positive beliefs, add them on the plus page. Once your lists are complete, I'm going to ask you to try this. Put each positive belief, I do hope you have some, put each positive belief on a single 3x5 card, because these are going to be your positive money mindset cards. If you didn't have any positive beliefs written down on the plus list, don't worry, because you're about to get some. Now take a look at the minus list you wrote down and ask yourself these questions about these beliefs. Are they true? Where'd they come from? Are they helping you move forward on your financial journey? Are they fun? Do you like them? Do you want to keep them? And you know what? If not, is there a positive value behind the belief that you'd like to acknowledge or keep? Maybe the belief is limiting and there was a positive intention behind it. What's the positive intention? And I'm going to ask you to do this for each limiting belief. Take a new 3x5 card and write down a new belief that you want to hold to replace that limiting belief. And on the other side of each of your positive money mindset cards, write down one action step that you will take in the next 30 days to implement these positive money mindset beliefs. Do this for all the beliefs on your minus list for sure, and also do it for the beliefs that were positive before. Put some action to them. And then go ahead and burn or shred that minus list. You don't want to hang on to those negative mindsets, that negative belief. And if you find, by the way, that negative mindsets are hard to change because they're subconscious, email me, Christine, cr@christinerose.coach, and I will send you a free worksheet for eliminating automatic negative thoughts. This is really important because there are people who kind of sabotage themselves because they haven't dealt with their money mindset, and they do tons and tons of work and they reach a level of success, and then they sabotage themselves because they've got some unconscious beliefs that they haven't gotten rid of yet. So do the work to develop a positive money mindset and clean out any negative limiting beliefs that you have. Your positive money mindset is going to advance you on your journey to well-being. And my money mindset cards personally that I have include some of these beliefs I will share with you. Money is my reward for coaching. Money is my compensation for writing great books and articles. Money is the payback for engaging public speaking. Money comes to me easily through many sources. Money is God's tool and instrument for myself, okay, for me to give me more capacity to do loving, compassionate, powerful acts of good in the world for others and for me and for myself. So write down your own money mindset cards, okay, and make sure that they reflect your new beliefs. I want to encourage you to read your money mindset cards every morning when you get up and every night before you go to bed. And even while you're laying there with your eyes closed, kind of envision yourself and how you feel when you reach these money goals that you've set for yourself. Put this stuff on your vision board grow your money mindset. And you want to replace these old limiting beliefs with these positive new beliefs and taking action on the new beliefs, because this is going to ignite your money mindset, your positive money mindset. And another part to growing your positive money mindset is taking action to increase your financial literacy. Really, financial literacy, just fancy words for saying what you know about finances, okay? There's some great ideas in Jack Canfield's book, The Success Principles, how to get from where you are to where you want to be. This course is a resource for you, and I also encourage you to check out everything Susie Orman wrote, along with Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I want you to check out Smart Money Moves by Kyle Welke, Chelsea Hodel, and my friend Steve Jutton. And go online, do some searches, bookmark and check your favorite online sites for personal and small business finance. And then make a point of checking in those sites monthly at least, so that you're growing your knowledge, your financial literacy. Okay, founding mom. Now we're going to move on. I've talked about building and holding containers. So what is this milestone to financial freedom, and why is it important? So many small business owners don't do this. And to be honest, when I started my business, I also didn't do this. I didn't. Building and holding containers is my term, my verb of telling you to completely separate your business and personal finances. Build one container for your personal finances and build a completely separate container for your business finances, like castles with moats around them, with the strictest controls to help you not to lower the drawbridge and run between the castles willy-nilly, okay? Because to be frank, building containers was really hard for me at the beginning. And the reason why is because it's not very convenient. I know I'm not the only person challenged by this. According to research conducted by MasterCard, many small businesses fail to separate personal and business expenses, and 46% of small business owners use their personal credit cards for business expenses, okay? So when I needed to pay for something for my business and I didn't have enough cash in my business account to cover it, I was using personal money to pay for it. And this was a loan to the business. And a couple of times I, was low on gas, didn't have my personal credit, I didn't have my business personal credit card with me, but I had a business card with me. So I paid off my gas, because I was going to run out of gas on my business credit card. You know the story. One thing that I did right from the beginning, and I really encourage you to do this, make sure you do this, is always deposit business income in your business account. Never, ever, ever deposit business income into your personal account. Even if your customer puts your personal name on it and not the business name on the check they pay you, or they want to pay you by Zelle and your business account isn't receiving Zelle. No, no, no. Now is the time, if you haven't yet, to completely separate your business and personal finances. This is so important. And first of all, why? This is because you need to account accurately for all your expenses and income for your reporting. And secondly, it does make you personally liable. It increases your liability in the event of legal action. Also, if you don't keep perfect records, you can miss out on some really big business expense tax deductions. It makes tax prep so much simpler for you. And last but not least, when you hold separate containers for your business and personal finance, you're preparing yourself to be fundable by outside sources, which is really key if you want to grow and scale your business. You want to use a great accounting software program like QuickBooks Online, get help from a bookkeeper, and start now and be sure you're maintaining separate business and personal finances. Over 75% of small business owners are using personal funds to pay for business expenses, and you need to track that. And to help you stop doing that, the next milestone on your journey to financial well-being is budgeting, both personally and for your business. A study by Mint in May 2020 found that 65% of Americans had no idea how much they spent the previous month. So that's alarming. So what's a budget? A budget is simply your financial plan for a defined period, whether a month, a quarter, or a year. Sometimes our negative money mindset tells us that, hey, we don't need budgets, or budgets are limiting. Budgets are what maybe mom said, no, we can't have that. It's not in the budget. So we haven't used budgets. But it's really important. It's a plan of what's coming in and what's going out, and it actually helps us be better business owners. So for your business, your budget can also include your plan for sales volume and revenues, for resource quantities, cost, expenses, assets, liabilities, and cash flows. And a budget deficit is where you spend more than you take in for a given time period. And a budget surplus is where you take in more than you spend for a given time period. You need a budget to manage your income and expenses, both for your business and for your personal finances, and to reach your financial goals for yourself and your business. How can you reach your goals if you don't plan and you don't know where you are? So if you haven't been running your personal life or your business with budgets, start now. AmericaSaves.org offers 5 steps to creating a budget that are pretty simple. So number 1, find out how much money you're managing for the budget time period. Number 2, track your expenses. Number 3, set financial goals based on what you learned about your income and expenses. Step number 4, take action on your goals. Increase your income and lower your expenses. And step number 5, stick to your plan. Get help now if you need to from a bookkeeper to create a realistic budget for your business. You've hopefully been keeping track of expenses. If you haven't, now's the time to do it, but go ahead and get help and create a realistic budget. And then if you have a partner and a family, engage those who are old enough to understand in the process of creating a budget for your household that you can stick to so you can reach your financial goals. Single moms, man, about budgeting, but about cutting expenses and doing everything you can to increase your income. Go ahead and formalize it. Write it down. Okay, it's smart too to teach kids about planning and budgeting so they don't fall into that 65% who end up having to dig themselves out of a hole as soon as they're old enough to get a credit card. So teach kids the value of saving and investing and show them the magic of compounding interest, okay, which is going to lead us to our next milestone on our journey of financial well-being, which is savings. From spendme.com, here's some facts about savings. 69% of adult Americans have less than $1,000 in a savings account. How are you doing on your savings? The average household in America has savings of $16,420. Over 54% of people age 45 to 54 have no significant savings. 22% of Americans have less than $5,000 saved for retirement. 22%, that's like more than a fifth of us, okay? The U.S. has a retirement savings deficit right now. It's like people should have saved and haven't, of $4.3 trillion. So where are you personally when it comes to savings, and where's your business? The first thing to save for is an emergency fund for your household. It's really wise to have at least enough in your emergency fund to cover 3 to 6 months of expenses, of household expenses, 3 to 6 months of what your budget needs in case of layoffs, job changes, health crises, or business downturns that are keeping you from bringing the income you normally budget for into your household. If you don't have liquid assets, and that's assets that you can quickly turn into cash, and you don't have enough savings, then you're not going to have an adequate emergency fund. Okay, so you need to have this emergency fund. That you need to be able to quickly get cash and be able to use it for your expenses. So how much, how are you doing on your emergency fund? And if you've got a great one, congratulations. If you're building it, how much can you budget to save for your emergency fund starting right now? And if you are running a super tight budget, I'm going to tell you, even micro savings are better than none. You can use apps like Digit, Acorn, or Tip Yourself to start an emergency fund where you're just putting in small amounts of money, and they will add up. And they're not the answer long-term, but eventually, but they'll help you get started, and it feels good to get started. And eventually you'll be able to budget savings and pay yourself larger amounts of money first. But take the first step to build or replenish your emergency fund today. Your personal savings rate is calculated as the ratio of personal savings to disposable personal income. Make a goal for yourself to have a personal savings rate of at least 10% of your income, okay? To save at least 10% of your income. If your expenses are currently too high to do that, really look at how can you pay yourself 10% first and what can you cut. Many times there are, kind of can make a game out of discovering ways to reduce expenses to save more. If you pay yourself first, you almost don't notice that the money's gone, and then you get to make a game out of figuring out how to make the rest last and make it through that budget period. So make a goal for yourself to save at least 10%. For your business, definitely and personal, you can use financial accounting software to help you plan for savings and to understand the cash flow in your company. Get clear on what cash and credit you have, what you use, and what you need for your business. And for your business, have a savings account and pay yourself first. This is going to help you lower your cost of financing. If you borrow, you can borrow from yourself instead of using credit, and also can help you fund your retirement, weather your income fluctuations in the business, and improve your ability to get funding. So important to save. And once you've got your robust emergency fund for yourself and for your business, your savings, you can invest. You can invest in stocks, real estate, other investment vehicles. Investing is a passive way to increase your income, which means you don't have to do the work. It's not trading your time for money. The investments are doing the work for you. I'm not really going to do a deep dive into investments, except to say that your journey of well-being accelerates when you're investing. Right now, when the US stock market goes up, 3/4 of Americans don't benefit at all. For the bottom 75% of Americans, less than 1% of their income is derived from interest, dividends, or capital gains. But the top 10%, listen to this, are getting 18.9% of their income from interest, dividends, and capital gains. Savings and investing changes your financial future. You start earning money without having to do the work. It's doing it for you. So the sooner you start reaping the dividends. If you've already got investments and you've already met your personal financial freedom goal, you don't need to work anymore to live the lifestyle you want to live, congratulations. That's amazing. If you haven't yet set that personal financial freedom goal, that date where you don't need to work to live anymore. But in either case, be careful. Because when you are investing, you need to keep tabs on your investments carefully and monitor to make sure your situation is not changing negatively. And during downturns, one of the risks for small business owners who are depending on their business for retirement is that your company's valuation may not support your retirement goals anymore. So not to worry, we're all on journeys, and remember, financial well-being at all levels can always be improved. So thanks for sticking with me on part 2. And I invite you to come back for part 3, where we're going to look into milestones 4, 5, and 6, which are credit, debt service, and planning. Hi, thanks for joining me on part 3 of this course of financial well-being for founding moms. In part 3, we're going to get serious about credit, debt service, and financial planning. And credit, simply put, is the ability of a customer to buy goods or services before they pay, based on the trust that the payment will be made in the future. So credit has it's kind of magic, right? It allowed me to remodel 2 condos and a house, increasing their value and allowing me to sell them for significant profit, much more than if I hadn't been able to do the remodels. Credit allowed me to invest in training to increase my coaching mastery. Credit has allowed me to take a year off from my business and keep a very limited coaching schedule in order to write my Amazon #1 new release, Life Beyond #MeToo. And credit even allowed me to meet Jack Canfield, the co-creator of Chicken Soup for the Soul, in a mastermind group where he agreed to do a video interview of me about my book and my work. And he promoted it to over 1 million followers. So clearly, credit can create possibilities for individuals and businesses alike. Having credit makes it easier to make some purchases like buying an airplane ticket or renting a car. It's just so much easier when you have a credit card. Wise use of credit can also improve your financial well-being. Having credit allows you to be able to have a mortgage, get a mortgage for a house. So this is true both for your personal and your business credit. So a business credit report is a picture of your business's credit history, okay? And this is similar to a personal credit report, which is a snapshot of your personal credit use. Lenders use information found in both your business credit report and sometimes your personal credit to determine whether or not to lend money or extend credit to you. They're judging your, their risk and your ability to repay credit they extend to you. But in a 2015 survey, 45% of small business owners didn't even know that they have a business credit score. 72% didn't know where to find this information on their business credit score, and 82% didn't know how to interpret their score. In 2015, when I first started my company, I was among those percentages. Okay, so fortunately, I've learned that you can look up your business credit score. You can go to Experian.com, and for $99 for a single report or $189 for a year, you can monitor your business credit scores, and these go from 1 to 100. Having a high business credit score over 75 is really essential for a growing company. And you also want to raise your personal credit score to prime, which is 660 and above. And so why do you care? Why is it important to have a good credit score? First of all, low credit scores limit your access to credit. And secondly, low credit scores increase your cost of credit. And why should you care, right? As a small business owner, your access to credit can really make or break your business's opportunities for growth and even survival. Access to business credit is a lifeline for you. Credit allows you to borrow the capital you need to expand, to pay your day-to-day expenses on time sometimes, to buy necessary inventory, hire more employees. It allows you to conserve cash on hand to cover your costs of doing business. So if you're not one of the 33% of small business owners who get their who get credit by borrowing from family and friends, and you really need access to money to maintain and grow your business, you're going to need to borrow funds from banks and bank loans, business credit sources and business credit cards, right? So be aware that your personal and business credit scores are going to impact the cost of your credit. Generally, banks and credit sources have set interest rates based on the likelihood of being repaid. And the lower your credit scores are, the higher cost you'll pay in interest to borrow the money through higher interest rates, right? In your journey to financial well-being, you may have made some mistakes using credit. I know I have. I've had a few mistakes. Sometimes late payments, maybe applying for credit you didn't really need, or accumulating significant debt can lower your scores. So it really behooves you as a small business owner and, just as a responsible human being to raise your credit scores. And here are some tips to help. So first of all, get a copy of your credit report. You can lower your score in a number of ways. First of all, making payments on time. Have a history of making payments on time. If this has been a challenge for you, I just encourage you to include your due dates on your budget for every creditor so that you make sure you have cash available to make the payments on time. Pay a bill when it arrives instead of waiting for the last possible minute. If you're a procrastinator, that can save you so much on late payment fees and really, increase your credit. If there are any outstanding payments that you owe, if they're 60 or 90 days or further outstanding, make them as soon as possible, or at least contact the creditor and make an agreement about when you can pay them. You can also increase your credit score by paying down debt as quickly as possible. Debt utilization is the amount of credit that you use divided by amount of available credit to you. If your debt utilization is higher than 30%, your credit score goes down. So you can raise your credit score by keeping your debt utilization under 30%. You can also raise your score by limiting the new requests that you have for credit on your record. So don't apply for anything you don't absolutely have to. And when somebody's asking you if they can, they want you to do business with them, make sure that they're not doing a hard credit check on you because that can lower your score. And finally, if you have any negative remarks or mistakes on your credit history, contact the creditor and provide an explanation or dispute those and request them to be removed from your record. One time I had a medical services creditor and that sent my file to collections. And I'd never received a single bill from them. I'd never received a notice from the collections agency. I didn't even know this was on my credit record. I only saw it because I checked my Credit Karma and it said I had something in collections. And I was like, wow, where'd that come from? So I contacted the medical service provider who told me, yeah, there's nothing we can do about this. They made a typo on my email and I didn't ever get notice. I contacted the collections agency and they had an old address for me and didn't have the right email. So I never heard from them. But I contacted them, I paid the balance due. I told them about my experience and their mistakes and I asked them to remove this incident from my credit report immediately. And they did. So monitor your credit, and then when there are mistakes on there, do something about it, because these can stay on your credit report for a decade and lower your credit score. So take action. You'll be really glad you did. So once you've dealt with your credit score, another milestone on your journey to financial well-being, your journey of financial well-being, is lowering your debt service, okay? Debt service, really, this is the cost of borrowing money. And so to be a responsible user of credit, you want to keep your debt to income ratio low, definitely under 40%. So to calculate debt to income ratio, what you want to do is add up all the total recurring monthly debt you have, such as your credit card payments, your mortgage, your auto loan, and divide that total recurring monthly debt number by your gross monthly income, the total amount you make each month before taxes, withholding, and expenses. So be sure to include any principal and interest due. So for example, if your total monthly debt is $2,500 and your gross monthly income is $5,000, you divide that 2,500 by 5,000 and get a 0.5 or a 50%. If your debt to income ratio is high and you just can't find a way to lower that, you may qualify for help from some credit counseling services. So these organizations work with individuals and then they work with your creditors to lower your interest rates. And there's an agreement you make with them to make monthly on-time payments through the credit counseling service. And it usually requires closing some accounts, but this option can really be helpful to people if you've accumulated more debt than you're able to pay and you're just making minimum payments. When you have too much debt and you're just making minimum payments, that debt can cost a ridiculous amount of money and take decades to pay off. So go ahead and take the step of contacting credit counseling services to help you if you're in that situation. Also, if your business or personal credit scores are low because you've never used credit at all, and you want to develop some credit so that you can qualify for a mortgage to buy your first house, whatever it is, or even qualify for business credit, you can start to develop a credit record by applying for microloans or small loans through organizations like the Mission Asset Fund. So just do a search to find out where you can apply for microcredit. Also check with your bank or credit union and see if they have programs to help small business owners develop credit. Sometimes they do. So we talked about credit, and we're going to move on to the next milestone on the journey of financial well-being, which is planning. You know, this is not to dissuade any of you from being in business or discourage anybody in any way, because you're all going to be in the half that survives. But half of small businesses don't survive 5 years. Over a third of small businesses don't have a retirement plan, small business owners. And nearly 3/4 of small businesses don't have a succession plan, which is a plan for the financial and human continuation of a business after the founder dies or leaves the company, retires. So people might tell you they've got a financial plan. It could be 15 years old, but hey, they have a financial plan. And I've had several financial plans done for me and have worked with more than one financial planner. And from my own experience, I want to reaffirm this idea. Financial planning is a process, okay? It's not a product. One of the things that people do is they'll do like, I've got my financial plan, and they don't do financial planning. But on our journey of financial well-being, financial planning is not a step to complete. It becomes part of the journey and is a long-term way to wisely manage your finances so that you can achieve your goals and your dreams. Financial planning helps you get around barriers and obstacles that are common in life and business. And so go ahead and work with a planner, or if you want to, you can plan on your own with help from resources that are available in the library or online. But the key in this milestone is to commit to making financial planning part of your journey. The more complex your business and home financial picture is, the more it makes sense to invite an expert to help as a guide from time to time. So commit to financial planning. Do the goal setting, right? The first step of financial planning is goal setting. And that's being clear on where you're going. We've talked about your goals, what you need financial resources to do for you. What is it that you need, and what are your goals? What's coming up? You know, for me, part of my financial planning is I'm setting aside money to help my daughters, so when they get married, they can have some money from mom, and that's in my financial plan. But what do you need your financial resources to do for you? The next step is gathering together all of the relevant numbers you need, and then analyzing and evaluating your current state and progress to your goals. And once you have a plan, you can take action on it to execute, make your goals happen. On the journey of financial well-being, it's really essential to keep on reviewing and monitoring your financial plans. That's the planning, right? And keep making adjustments. You know, you need to make adjustments when your goals change, or when you reach a goal, what's your next goal? So you need to update your plans. I would make an annual review to update plans, part of your journey from now on. So make a plan to start engaging in financial planning for your life and your business. Put it on your calendar. And once you start financial planning, make it a lifelong practice along with a lifelong goal of increasing your financial literacy. And this is the next milestone. And financial literacy simply means understanding your finances, both personal and in your business, and also understanding what others know or think they know about you. Check out financial literacy programs for small business owners. I know that Urban Business Support offers programs online. You can also visit the Small Business Administration for classes, and even go to your local library and see what resources they have. Be sure to schedule time in your life to develop financial literacy. You know, most people after they graduate from high school don't read a book. We want to be the ones, you know, mompreneurs who are reading books about financial literacy and continuing to grow this area of our lives. The time that you spend learning about your finances, planning, and getting a handle on them is really an investment in your future, an investment in your journey of financial well-being. And this isn't easy for some of us who had no formal education and really are learning by experience. And right now, how's our mindset doing, right? I want to encourage you right now and invite you to let go of any limiting beliefs you have about financial literacy. So replace limiting beliefs about financial literacy right now and replace them with a mindset of curiosity and ambition and peace around the topic of financial literacy. And kudos to you for sticking through this section of the course with me. We're going to address the topic of profit focus for business owners, and we're going to consider what we're taking away from earlier sections and from this section, and we're going to close with a challenge for you. When I talk about a profit focus, I want you to focus on the word profit. That means financial gain, financial advantage, or benefit. Remember back to my first story from the first section about my very first business that failed. I didn't know about the profit focus, okay? So there wasn't much benefit in the end or financial gain. And if you're running a business that takes up a whole bunch of time and resources and energy, and in the end, it does not pay you, bring you gain, or benefit from you, what's the point of being in business? I've experienced ups and downs in my company's profit journey, right? This company, and honestly, I didn't have to. In my current business, I can tell you I've overspent on marketing, I've underpaid myself, and I've generated way too much work for the reward at times. I know personally the pain of not reaching the profit focus milestone on my financial journey. Fortunately, I've reached it now because what I've learned is the bigger the gap between what you earn and what you spend, the faster you move forward on your journey of financial freedom. So it's time now to advance your business to the profit focus milestone. And here's a simple way to do this. One of the business writers that I have benefited from greatly in my life and in my work is Michael Port. Michael Port is the author of Book Yourself Solid and Steal the Show, and he's not paying me for talking about him, but I highly recommend both those books for people who are doing service-based business and people who are speaking. Okay, they're great. And they've helped me. So when my bookkeeper gave me a copy of Mike Michalowicz's bestseller, Profit First, I already had a stack of probably 10 business books on my mirrored night table. So I put it at the bottom of the stack, saying to myself, I'll get to it later. And a few months later, I was cleaning my room, and I get those fingerprints off the mirrored night table, right? And so I took the books off the table to wipe off the fingerprints, and the back cover of Profit First was on the top as I flipped the books when I took them off and put them on the floor. And I noticed Michael Port's name and his endorsement on the book. What Michael Port said was, this system is a game changer, and if you want to turn a profit and grow your business, you need this book. Well, that was enough to make me put it on the top of the pile. Okay, because when somebody you trust tells you something, the game changer, and you need it, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna read it. I had it, I just wasn't reading it. That was enough to make me say, okay, I'm gonna read this. And you might have noticed that I didn't mention profit in the first section with all the formulas that you were invited to write down about your business. That's because traditionally you figure out your profit by taking the total revenue, sales, and deducting your expenses. While Mike Michalowicz turns that sideways, and he helps us create more profit in our business by creating a formula that really works. He breaks it down into real revenue, profit, owner's compensation, tax, and then operating expenses. And he recommends in his book target percentages for all these categories based on how large your company is. I want to encourage you not to underestimate the importance of a profit focus for your business and paying yourself first. I'm not going to tell you anything else about this right now other than to say Mike really spelled out how to run a business that will grow and pay you with his book, Profit First. Don't put this on the bottom of your stack of things to take in. I'm going to encourage you to get the book. Mike's not paying me for this, but it's going to help you a lot. Get the book, start implementing it as soon as possible. I actually believe if I'd known back in 1985 what I learned in Profit First, I might have stayed in the cosmetics business and, be at the top with a lot of residual income. So Profit First is really important. That profit focus is a huge milestone in your financial life, your financial journey. So looking back on our time together over these 4 sections in this course, my coaching question for you is, what are you taking away from your investment of time and from your investment of resources, right, in Founding Moms, right? What are you taking away? And here's some questions to consider and maybe even journal about. Do you believe that financial well-being is also the journey and not just the destination? Do you know your net worth? And do you know that net worth does not equal worth? Are you getting clearer now on where you are financially, both personally and in your business? If you already were clear, are you recommitted to your goals, right? Have you clarified your vision? Have you set or updated personal and business goals for 10 years, 5 years, 3 years, and 1 year from now? Have you developed a new positive money mindset? Have you started to develop a new positive money mindset? Have you separated your business and personal finances and committed to keeping them separate? Have you prepared realistic personal and business budgets? Have you started or completed your personal emergency fund? Is it fully funded? Do you have liquid assets to cover business and personal emergencies? Remember, in separate containers. Are you happy with your personal and business credit scores? If you want to raise them, what's your plan to do that? What is your debt to income ratio? What's your plan to reduce or eliminate debt if that's a concern for you? Have you made a commitment to increase your financial literacy? And if so, have you allocated time in your schedule for this? Actually put it on a calendar. Have you started financial planning? If you're going to work with an expert, have you made an appointment with them? Have you made a commitment to yourself to run a profitable business that pays you first? As a co-author of the book, Cracking the Rich Code, Volume 4, endorsed by Tony Robbins, hey, Tony, I wrote a chapter called 16 Secrets to True Riches. This chapter looks not only at the challenges that you're facing on your journey of financial well-being, it goes deeper. It goes to the heart of what makes people truly successful. So whether you're a novice on your journey of financial well-being or you've mastered all the milestones in this course and are teaching and guiding others, I would love for you to enjoy this chapter of the book, Cracking the Rich Code, which is a resource for entrepreneurs with advice from not only me, but 20 coaches and leaders, including the Shark Tank star Kevin Harrington and the success coach Jim Britt, my coach, one of my coaches, and many others. So email me at cr@christinerose.coach, cr@christinerose.coach, and I will send you a code to get the ebook for a 70% discount, okay? And now we are getting to the challenge. It's time to close this course out by inviting you to a challenge. I want to challenge you to implement everything you've learned in this course. If you need help, I encourage you to reach out to me by email or visit my website, www.christinerose.coach. If you meet the challenge, it will not only change your life and your business, it will also be rewarded with a gift from me because I want to see you thrive. Guess what? I'm also taking my own challenge. So as an expert coach on foundingmoms.com, this is an evergreen offer for you. If you contact me with your success story, how you've implemented what you learned in this course, every year on Valentine's Day, for as long as foundingmoms.com and Christine Rose Coaching and Consulting are in business, I will enter you For each person, I'm going to do this. I'm going to enter you once into a drawing for one of 3 gifts valued at $500, $1,000, and $2,500 each. And these are gifts of one-to-one or group business coaching to help you accelerate the growth of your company. So it's up to you to decide whether or not you want to take the challenge, whether you want to stay where you are on your journey of financial well-being for a while, or whether you want to move ahead quickly, 1 or 2 milestones, or whether you want to accomplish all the milestones that we covered in this course. It's up to you. And I just love to share in your success and hear your stories. So send those to me to be entered into the drawing that's going to happen every Valentine's Day. You can keep on sharing if you make, if you make more success year after year, you can keep on entering your name. And Founding Mom, I want to thank you for spending this time with me and the privilege of sharing this part of our journeys together. If I can support you in any way, please connect.